In this video, we're going to cover how to install Memberium for ActiveCampaign on your WordPress site. In just a few quick steps, you'll have the plugin activated and set up. The first thing that you need to do is download the plugin zip file. You can get this from the thank you page, or if you've already navigated away, not a problem at all. Just use the link below this video to download the file. Once you have the file downloaded, go to your WordPress admin dashboard. It should look similar to mine. Come over here to the Plugins tab and click Add New. On this screen at the top, just click Upload Plugin, choose your file, and that's going to be the file that you just downloaded, Memberium for ActiveCampaign. Once that's there, click Install Now, wait for the installation to complete, and once it's done uploading, you'll be presented with a screen like this where you simply need to hit Activate Plugin. If you remember on the last video, we left off on this page right here. This is our Memberium wizard, the installation wizard, and we simply left off on this screen. What you'll do is simply follow through the wizard. So the first step, it says to install and activate Memberium for ActiveCampaign. You'll just press start this wizard step, and it's simply going to take you to this screen. You're going to press get started. You're going to press activate Memberium, and that's all there is. On the next step, you have to actually add your ActiveCampaign API key, which I'll show you how to get right now. First, click on Add Your ActiveCampaign API Key, and it might take you to this page that has some of these messages. These can all simply be ignored for right now. But go ahead and click this link right here. Click here to update your API settings. This will open up a new window, and if you scroll down, you're going to see these two boxes, API Access URL and API Access Key. Now, you don't have to have any technical knowledge to know how to use this. Simply go to your ActiveCampaign app, come over here to the Settings tab. Here on the Settings screen, you're going to come right over here to the Developer tab. It's kind of in the middle here of these options. And then you will see your URL and your API key. So we will simply copy the URL. We will come back over here to this screen and we'll paste this in the access URL. And then on the API access key, it's this key right here. So you'll simply click in there and copy this. Now you'll press the update button. Memberium is going to connect to ActiveCampaign using those details that you just provided. And once it's complete, you'll be taken to this page right here. This is just the welcome screen. And so you can come back over here to the wizard by just clicking the Memberium wizard. You can click onto the Add Your ActiveCampaign API key step. And now you can press continue to next step so that this section will be marked as complete. In this video, we're going to be going over how to create all of your membership pages, and we're going to be using the membership site builder, which I'm going to show you shortly. By the end of this video, if you follow through, you're going to have a site that could look very similar to this. This is one of the site templates that you can import. So here you have your home page. It's going to include all of your front-facing marketing pages. It's going to include things like the login page and all your members area pages. It's going to include all the pages you need to launch your membership site. Before we jump into that though, let me explain that there are two ways to get your membership pages created. The first way is to use the membership site builder, which this is what this video is focusing on. This is the easiest way to actually get your site launched, is to use the membership site builder plugin, which we include with your purchase of Memberium. It is optional though, you don't have to use the builder, although it's the quickest way and it gives you access to a growing library of templates to import. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. The second way though to get all your pages created is to build everything manually. So if you don't want to use the builder for some reason, or you already have an existing site that you can't use the builder on because it might override some things, then you can build all your pages manually. Now you'll need to be a little bit more tech and WordPress savvy, but there are customers who choose this route. Now this video is going to cover the membership site builder. If you have a brand new site, this is the route you should take. It's going to save you a ton of time in getting launched. So what is the membership site builder? Very simply, the membership site builder is a plugin that gives you access to a growing library of full site templates. All the templates are designed to be used with Memberium, and they already include most, if not all, of the pages that you're going to need to launch a site. The templates here are split up into three main sections. So each site template pack includes many pages which are split up into three sections. The first is the front-facing pages, and this is laid out in what you're seeing on screen in this sitemap. It includes pages like your front-facing home page, opt-in pages, and sales pages, and there's a lot of other pages too that I'm not going to cover. Basically, any page that people who haven't joined your program yet, these are the pages that they would see because they're not logged in. Now, these pages are optional when it comes to using Memberium. You can use existing marketing-related pages that you already have, and you don't have to use these templates at all. We've just included these to make it easier for you to promote your site and understand how the rest of the pages on your site can fit together with Memberium. The second group or category of pages is the backend or members area pages. These include things like the login page, your members or course dashboard, that's the main page that they see after logging in, and all of your protected content. So your lessons, your program, your course. Now, the third set of pages is the My Account pages. This includes all the things like your e-commerce settings so people can update credit cards, they can view their subscriptions, and all of these types of pages here. Although there are a lot of pages included in each site pack, you don't have to use all of them. In fact, to get started, you might only need to set up the members area pages and an order form. So just remember, these templates are here to help you launch quickly, so don't get bogged down in filling in all the content for all these templates. Focus on getting your program and your site launched, and then you can revisit some of the additional templates we give you here to promote your program. Now that I've kind of explained that, let me show you how to actually import a site. So we left off in the last video on this screen right here where we had installed and activated Memberium, and so we're now going to jump to step 3, install your page templates and launch. To do this, we just simply click right here, and we're going to be taken to the membership site builder. The first screen you're going to see is this right here, and it's asking you which page builder you want to use. Now, we support Elementor, Beaver Builder, and Gutenberg, as you can see. Beaver Builder and Gutenberg right now only have one template at the time of recording this video. Elementor has 3, and if you're just getting started, I recommend Elementor. If you're more familiar with one of the other choices, choose those. In this particular video, I'm going to click on Elementor. At this point, you're going to be presented with the options, the available site template packs that are included. Here you can see that there's 3. We are working on adding more. If I go ahead and click into one, for example, Elite Program, it's going to start loading all the individual pages. I can kind of click around and see how they are, make sure that this is the site that I want. And if I decide that it's not, I can just press this back button right up here. I can click into a different template. So I'll click on the Modern Course Creator, for example, and I can see this is the kind of style of how it looks. Here's the login page. And when I'm ready to import a site, I am going to click the Import Complete Site button right here at the bottom. At this point, you're going to want to make sure that you leave all of this checked. Don't check this top box, or that's going to delete any previous content you might have. So just make sure everything is checked as it is by default, and then press the import button. At this point, it's going to install everything that you need. After just a couple of seconds or maybe even a minute, the import is going to complete and you're going to see this screen right here. At this point, you can go ahead and press View Your Site. That's going to open up this new page here. And this here is just the WordPress Pages section, so you can see all the different pages that got imported for you. Before we jump into the pages, let me show you something that you're going to want to do right away. Come over here to the Appearance and then Customize. I'm going to right click and open this in a new tab. You don't have to do that. And what we're going to do here is set 2 settings which are both optional, but you might want to go ahead and do right now. The first option is to simply set your logo. Now the easiest way to do this is just to come right up here and press on this pencil icon, and by doing that we're going to be automatically taken to this screen right here where we can set our logo. So we can just simply press Change Logo, and I could upload a file from my computer. If you already have an existing WordPress site and you might have some images in here already, we can come in here and select a logo just like so, and then that will now be the logo that's on all of our pages and in the header here. If you don't have a logo, what you can do is simply remove the logo, and then you can come to this option that says Display Site Title. So type in the name of your site, and then you can do Display Site Title, and then that will just put that text right up here in the header for you. This way, if you don't have a logo, you can use that. I'll go ahead and select my logo though, and we'll move on. The second option that you'll want to do is go ahead and back out of these settings and then go down to the homepage settings. Now, by default, the homepage is set to this, which this is just one of the basic pages here. We do give you a front-facing homepage like I mentioned earlier. So you can go ahead and select that if you want. Now you don't have to use our homepage. You're welcome to create your own homepage or set up any sort of system you want. I'm just telling you that this is how you'd set the homepage, is in the customizer by setting the homepage to static page and then selecting that page from here. I'm going to set mine to the homepage that the template installed for me. I'm going to press Publish to save the changes. Make sure you do that. I'm going to press the X to go ahead and X out of here. Now I was taken back here to the page that I was previously on. This is the WordPress Pages section, and what I'm going to show you now is how to quickly edit a page. So just for instance, if I wanted to edit this About page, one of the templates, all we do is we can simply press Edit with Elementor right here. This will load the Elementor page builder. It takes a couple of seconds to get everything loaded in the browser, and the editing experience, and that's what I'm about to show you, is super easy. So as you can see, it took just a couple of seconds, and this is the screen that you'll be presented with. And now to change content, it's as simple as point and click and just typing what you want. So I could change this to simply say about, or about, the program which I'm selling. And you can insert any sort of text here. You can delete text, it's no problem. To change images, for example, if I wanted to change this logo, you simply click here on the image, come over here and choose the image, and you'll either upload it from your computer clicking that tab or selecting a logo that you might already have. So I've selected this one here. If you want to undo something, you can press Control or Command Z, that'll undo it, so you can easily undo these changes. Editing text, I've already showed you that. It's the same way, it's just point and click, type just like that. And to add new text and new elements, you press this grid icon and you can simply drag and drop. So for example, I move that heading there. That's not exactly where I wanted it, so I'll simply move it back to the correct spot, and then I could have a section here. So there's a heading right there. It's as simple as that. To delete, you can just right click and press delete, and now it's gone. One thing that you can also do is change different colors. So for example, right here, if I wanted to change the color, I'd come to the Style tab and I would click on Text Color, and then now I could change this. So I could make it white, I could make it any color that I wanted to using the color picker here. However, going through and changing all these would be very time consuming, and that's why we've actually integrated everything with these global colors. So instead of clicking on the color right here, I can click on the globe icon, and these are all the global colors that we've linked together. So here's subheading, that's what it was set to earlier, and you can see now that this globe has kind of changed colors to show that it's highlighted and it's selected, and the check mark shows here. Now, the reason that you might want to use global colors instead of just setting it here manually is because by clicking the hamburger icon up there in the top left and then Site Settings, we can change the global colors and it will change it across all templates. So I'll click Global Colors here, and you can see all the ones right here. Now, it might look like there's a lot. Different templates have a different number of these. I think this template has the most global colors, but even still, changing all the colors here, even though there might seem like there's quite a few, it's going to save you so much time compared to having to go into each element and set the color to your brand colors. So if I wanted to change the subheading, I would just click right here, and I would just simply change this. So just to show you an example, let's just make it like kind of that yellow right there. And you'll see that it's actually changing not just that, but it also changed this line right here, changed that line and those lines. So it's changing a lot of different things here. The other thing that you can do is global fonts. We've linked all the fonts as well globally. So I can change the headings here, for example, increasing the size, or changing the font family entirely. So I could switch this to this font right here. You can see that it's completely changed, and it's changed it everywhere. And so there's different fonts that you'll have to go through to set. If you don't already have your fonts and brand colors and all of this outlined, not a problem. You're welcome to use the ones that we give you and that we've already pre-styled. You're welcome to use those. You don't have to customize these. I'll go ahead and discard the changes, but you would save them. And that's how you use the Elementor editor, and that's the global colors and fonts feature too. The next thing I want to show you is how, although the course dashboard or the main members dashboard, the individual course pages and then individual lesson pages all work together, and how you will need to set this up on your site. I'm back here on the Pages tab, and if I scroll down just a little bit, you'll see that we have a couple of different course dashboard options. We have two on this template pack. Yours may only have one, it might have more. But you'll view these by clicking View, and you can choose one that you want to use. And for example, this is the one that I chose, Course Dashboard version 1 with pictures in the Modern Course Creator pack, if you're looking for this particular template, but there are other options available. And so this is again built with Elementor. So editing is the same way. You will come in here into the editor and you will put your image for the course. You'll update all of these little things here, course title, and then where it says Start Course, you will actually link this to an individual course page such as this right here. Now, we designed this particular page where if they have access, then Start Course would show up, and if they don't have access, Get Course would show up, and this would take them to an order form or pricing page. Now, I will show you how to protect individual elements in the next couple of videos, so I won't cover that in this one. I want you to know though that we have individual videos that cover how to set up each template pack, because each template pack has small nuanced things such as these two buttons here that need a little bit of configuration, but not all the template packs have all the same little settings. So we have individual videos that are covering how to set up each pack I've linked these below this video. If you're ever stuck, you can also reach out to support at Memberium.com. With that being said though, by pressing start this course, it would move me down into this area right here where I have all the lessons, and I could click on one of the individual lessons and it would take me to a page that looks like this, for example. So has a video, has some other content on it, and then it also has the navigation here so I can move to lesson 2 and 3. Now, I'm going to show you how to create all of these pages. This page right here is the main members dashboard. You probably don't need multiple of these, so you can simply just edit this one with Elementor by clicking Edit with Elementor, and you'll want to link these to the individual course pages, which is this page right here. If we come back here to the Pages section of WordPress, if I scroll down some, you'll see that we have the individual course sales and fulfillment page. You'll want to have one of these for each one of your courses. This means that you'll need to clone this page. Don't edit this page because then that will mess up the template and you won't be able to use this as a template in the future. So what you can do is simply press this new draft right here. And pressing new draft here has opened up this page. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete this title right here, and I'm going to set it to my own title. I'm going to name this my photography course. I'm going to then save draft. Now, I could go in here and start editing and adding the content, but the next thing I'm going to do is actually set up some of my lessons. Now, I'm on back to the WordPress pages. I'm actually on the second page, so if you're installing on a fresh site, you'll probably find these ones on the second page. But we have the individual lesson templates in here. Now, the one that I showed you earlier is this one right here, individual lesson template version 2 with sidebar. That's the one I'm going to use. And so again, I'm not going to edit this one directly. I'm going to press new draft. At this point, I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to say lesson 1, and I'm going to say basics. So I'm going to give just a little brief description there. I'm going to save this as a draft. And now to save some time, I can actually copy to a new draft right here as well. So I can do copy to new draft, and now I can change this again. So I can change this to lesson 2, editing. So we'll say this was about editing our photos. Again, save this as draft. And I could continue to do this as needed. If you're going to be creating a lot of lessons, then don't create all of them this method right here. You need to do one more step first, and let me show you that now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually publish those 2 lessons, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so all I've done is I've gone ahead and published my lesson 1 and lesson 2. And the reason why is because I'm going to show you how to link everything together right now. What you'll want to do is come here to the WordPress admin area, go to Appearance and then Menus. And then you're going to create a new menu. Now you're going to do this for every course that you have. So the steps I'm about to show you will be repeated for every single course. So in this one, I'm going to name it Photography Course. Just like this, I'm going to press Create Menu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 2 lessons in here. So right here on Most Recent, I'm just going to check both of those and press Add to Menu. If the ones that you created aren't showing up, you can either select View All or Search and then search for the title that you chose. So now I've added these 2 in here, I'm going to press the Save button. And we now will use this menu to set up the navigation. So on the main course page, I'm going to edit with Elementor. And then from here, I'm going to scroll all the way down. And right here where it has these different lessons, I'm just going to click in here. And where it says select menu, I'm going to change this to my photography course. So you can see lesson 1, lesson 2 are here. Now this particular page is set up if you have a very long course with different modules. You can very easily delete this if you'd like. So you can just delete this right here, and then instead it's just going to have your lessons here. So you can customize all this. If you don't have multiple modules, feel free to remove this, customize the pages you need, but automatically these lessons show up here. So I'll update this and save it. The next thing I want to do is update my lesson. So for example, lesson 1, I can again edit in Elementor, and all we're going to do is we're going to set that menu in the sidebar so that the navigation is correct. Now anytime I then clone this page, that menu should already be set. And then adding new lessons, all I have to do is come over here to the WordPress menu and select for example, lesson 3. Once I created it, I would select it and add it to the menu and press save, and it would update it automatically everywhere. So it would update it on all the different pages. So for example, just to show you again, we're going to edit that element. We are going to select photography course, and then we can apply, and then we can also update the page right here. So as we can see, lesson 1 and then lesson 2 here. So that's all you have to do. Now that the last thing you need to do is actually link the course to the main members dashboard. The members dashboard is this page right here. This is the page that members see when they actually log into the site. In order to get this going, I'm going to edit with Elementor. While that's loading, I'm going to come over to this page. This is, again, the main course page, if you recall. I'm going to click View Page. And what I'm going to do is just copy this URL right up here in the URL bar. So this one is Photography Course. Now I am on the main members dashboard page, and all I'm going to do is click into this button right here where it says link right here. I'm going to paste in the link to the photography course just like that. That's all you have to do. And obviously I would update this to match. So photography course, I might add a couple of sentences quickly summarizing what the course is about. And then here on the image, I would actually go and find an image for my photography course, and I would insert that as well. Okay, so I've customized it here so that it fits, and this is my image here. I would obviously want to customize these, but this is how you link to the actual photography course page. And then we obviously already linked the photography course page to the lessons included in the course. So you saw how to do all of that. The other thing I want to mention though is that if you're using a learning management system, something like LearnDash, Sensei, or Lifter LMS, you do not have to use the templates which I've shown you here. The only template that you would probably use is this page right here. This is the members dashboard page. And what you would do is link, instead of in the button here linking to the pages that I just created, you would link to the pages that your learning management system created. So LearnDash or any learning management system already creates the main course page and the lesson pages for you. So you would just link to the course page and you wouldn't have to do all the steps which I just showed you. So I'm going to go ahead and update this page right here, and then we're going to view this page by pressing this and then View Page. And what I'm going to do here is copy this URL. I'm going to come back over here to the menus. I'm under Appearance and Menus, and I'm going to select the primary menu. What we're doing here is we're going to add the main members dashboard page to this menu right here. So going to Custom Links, we're going to paste the link in, and we're going to say Dashboard, just like this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here where it says Dashboard. And then I'm going to open this up, and we're under the Memberium section. I'm going to change this to logged in visitors only or logged in users only, just like this. So now this dashboard page, so that members can easily come back to the dashboard page that we just set up, it's going to show only for people who are logged in. We don't want people who are visitors or who haven't purchased to see this yet. So as we can see here, the dashboard page is right here. We can easily click that, and then we can see our photography course and everything. Perfect. The last thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how to set up your login page. Now, since you're an admin, you're seeing the login already here because Memberium is showing this to you. However, people who are not administrators will only see log out, or they'll see login. It won't show both at the same time like this. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, I pulled this open in another browser window here, and you can see that the logout is not showing, only login. Now clicking this, we've already linked this to your login page, so you don't actually have to set this page up. It already works. Where it says forgot password to, you'll be able to, this already is set up and configured. You can go back to the login page. Now, unlike other membership platforms and programs that you might have used, you don't need to set up a login page for every single course or every single program. One login page is all you need for your entire site, and you as the admin will actually use this page now. One thing to be aware of is that since you're using ActiveCampaign, ActiveCampaign doesn't have e-commerce features built in. This means that you'll need to use another add-on in order to sell your course or subscription. If you're not sure which e-commerce platform you should use with ActiveCampaign and your membership site, you can use WooCommerce for free to start selling your online course or any product sold for a one-time fee. The Elementor sites called Modern Course Creator and Elite Program come with WooCommerce and all the checkout pages already installed for you. If you're planning on selling a subscription-based product with Memberium, you'll need to have a premium e-commerce platform or add-on to sell your subscription. If you want to use WooCommerce, you can use WooCommerce subscriptions, or the other main options you can use are Spiffy or Thrivecart. Really, any system that integrates with ActiveCampaign will work with Memberium. Alright, and that's what we're going to cover in this video. So just to recap, we looked at how to set up the logo and homepage. I showed you how to import the different template packs, and we went through the different packs available and how you can see those. I showed you how to edit with Elementor and how you can connect all of your dashboard, course, and lesson pages together. I also explained what to do if you're using a learning management system such as LearnDash or Lifter LMS. The last couple things we covered were the different e-commerce pages and how those are going to integrate when you're using ActiveCampaign, and I showed you the login page as well. In this video, we're going to cover how to create membership levels. Before we dive into the step-by-step, let's first talk about what a Memberium membership level actually is. At its core, Memberium protects content with tags, ActiveCampaign tags. So if a member has a tag in ActiveCampaign, they have that tag in Memberium and they can access certain content. If they don't have a tag, then they can't access content protected with that tag. With Memberium, you can protect pages and content using tags alone, but memberships provide more features, more flexibility. Memberships are still tag-based. At its simplest, if a user has an access tag, that's a tag from ActiveCampaign, then they have a membership that you associate with the tag. Now before we continue, let's actually create a membership level and then we can look at some of the settings and we can explain how the access tags actually work. So to create a membership, you first want to come over here to Memberium and then the Memberships tab right here. Your screen should probably look like mine where you don't have any membership levels, and to create a membership level, you come down here to the Tag Builder Pro and you look at this box that says Create Membership Level. In this box you type in the name of the membership level, so I'm going to create one called Gold Course. You simply type in the name of the membership that you want to create, and then check this box right here. I'll explain what that does in just a moment, but go ahead and check it, and then when you're ready, press the Create button. Now that the page is refreshed, we can see our membership level right up here at the top, and you can see this tag ID that says Gold Course and then 323. That's the actual tag inside of ActiveCampaign. So if I were to go to ActiveCampaign, I could actually find this tag in my list of tags in the CRM. Now, I'm going to cover this in a later video, but this is the tag that you will need to apply to a user after they make a purchase in order to give them this membership level and to give them access to the content that we'll soon protect with this membership. Right over here, you can press this Edit button, and when the page loads, we'll be presented with a screen of more options. Now, there are a lot of options on this page, and I'm not going to cover all of them. However, let me just go through the main ones. First, we have the actual access tag. That's the tag that Memberium automatically created for us. You're not allowed to actually change this tag. As you can see, it's grayed out, but it is displayed here. You can, however, add additional access tags. So for example, if we added a tag in here, just any tag, let's just add that tag right there. The user could have either the Gold Course tag or the basic tag, and Memberium would treat them as having this Gold Course membership level. So you can add as many tags inside of the additional access tags as you want. You can also see that we have the payment failure, cancellation, and suspension tags. The main reason that you want these tags is that if a member has one of these tags, Memberium is going to treat them as not having the membership. That means they won't be able to access any of the protected content. The three different options here, they're just there for more context. So this way you can know if they lost access due to a cancellation, a billing issue, payment failure, or if you suspended the member for some reason. So the way this works is that if a member has the access tag, the Gold Course tag, and they get a payment failure tag, maybe your payment system detected that a payment failed, a card declined, and you could automatically apply this tag to the user, then they would lose access to the membership, and you would also be aware because they have this special unique tag. You could use that to trigger automations, emails, different things, which we'll cover in later videos. But if we scroll down, we'll see why this is even more important. So down here under the Special Pages tab, you'll see the membership homepage. That's going to be the homepage that a user's taken to right after they log into the site. So if they don't have one of these three tags, payment failure, cancellation, or suspension, they'll just be taken to this default membership homepage, which you can set up right here. However, if they do have the payment failure, cancellation, or suspension tags, then you can actually set a special homepage for each of those. So if the payment failed, for example, you could take them to a page that says, uh-oh, your payment failed, update your payment by clicking here, and then you could redirect them to wherever they need to update their payment details. Likewise, you can use the same thing for a cancellation homepage. So if they canceled their account, you can then, if they log in, take them to this cancellation homepage where you're telling them, you canceled your account, reach out to our support team so that we can reinstate you, and different things like that. So now that we actually have our membership level created though, let me show you how you can actually protect a page with this. So I've opened up a page here in WordPress and I'm going to scroll down until we can see the content protection box. That's right over here on the right hand side. And we can see that we have our membership Gold Course. So by checking this box, we're locking the page down so that only users with this membership level, Gold Course, can access the page. In other words, they need the tag Gold Course, the one that I showed you earlier in ActiveCampaign, in order to access this page. So we'll cover all of this in more detail in video number 5. One thing to note is that as the site admin, Memberium treats you as always having access to everything. Your admin account won't be affected by content protection settings that you set up right here. This means that to test, you'll need to create a test user. I'll show you how to do this once we set up a few more things though. One last thing, you can create as many membership levels as you'd like. Memberium doesn't impose any limit whatsoever on the number of memberships. However, the more levels you have, the harder it's going to be to manage. In the last video, we covered the many ways that you can add content into WordPress. Now it's time to protect that content with Memberium. I did show you briefly in past videos how to protect a page with a membership level, and I'll go over that and other options available to you to use on your membership site in this video. First, let's go to a page in WordPress. Now, what I'm about to show you also works if you're going to use an LMS plugin like LearnDash or Lifter LMS. So once you're on the page in WordPress, you'll scroll down here on the right until you see this content protection box. This is the Memberium content protection box, and this is where all the content protection happens. I won't cover all these options here, but I have linked below this video another video in documentation that will explain all the options in greater detail. However, let's go through the most basic and the most useful options together. At the top, you have the checkboxes, and these correspond to your membership levels that you created. Checking a box will require a member to have that particular membership in order to access the page. If you check multiple boxes, a member will only need one of the selected memberships. They won't need both. The other main option that I want to cover is the required tag IDs box. That's right down here. It works the same way in that if you add a tag in here, a user is going to need that tag on their record in order to see the page. If you have multiple tags here, only one tag is going to be required, one of the two. If you want to require two tags, add the second tag in the box below this one labeled and require tag IDs. That box works the same way. If you put multiple tags in the and required tag IDs, only one tag from that box is going to be required. So this is how you protect stuff on the page itself, but what happens if a user doesn't meet the requirements that you set here? That's actually set up down here. By default, you have two boxes. One is for the logged out redirect, and one is for the logged in redirect. Here's what we recommend. First, ignore the logged out redirect unless you're sure you need it, and in some cases you might, but for now just ignore it, and set the no access redirect URL to a members only page. This could be a generic no access page, and we even include one in our page templates. If you're not using our page templates, you can just create a similar page like I'm showing you right here on screen. Setting this setting on each page, it might be time consuming, especially if you have a lot of pages though, so I'm going to show you how you can actually set the default redirect. And the default redirect works when you leave this box blank. So if you leave this box blank, then the site-wide redirect is going to take effect. So here's how we set that. Come over here to Memberium, go to Settings, and then Content Protection tab. On this page, you're going to set the default prohibited action to redirect if it's not already set there, and in the box below there, insert the link to the page that you want to redirect users to. And again, if you're using our templates, you can just place /members-only in there, just like I've done on screen. Keep in mind that you can override this default redirect anytime on any particular page by just entering a different URL into the box right here as I'm doing. One other thing I want to show you is how you can hide certain content of a page depending on the membership levels of the tags. You don't have to hide the entire page. You can simply just protect certain sections. This can be done using shortcodes, which I've linked below. Or if you're using one of the page builders we integrate with, we've just included simple switches built right into those plugins. So since I'm using our page templates built with Elementor, I'm going to show you how to do this in Elementor. First, go to a section that you want to show only to certain members. You can also do this with elements. Right now, columns are not currently supported. Once you click on the Elementor section, click on the Advanced tab in that box that pops up on the left, and then scroll down until you see Memberium. Right here, you'll see the same content protection settings that we've just covered. You can protect with membership, tags, logged in or logged out status, and there's more options too. The only difference here is that if a user doesn't have access, they're not going to be redirected. They're just simply not going to be able to see the content. The content that you protect will just be hidden. Again, I've also linked below some more detailed documentation for the 4 page builders that we integrate with, and it goes in depth into all these options here. So at this point, you should be able to protect all your content, and you know how to set up the actions that happen if a user doesn't have access. For more detailed instructions, review the documentation I've linked below. In this video, we're going to cover one of the last major things we need to set up inside of WordPress before we move over to the ActiveCampaign side and start connecting all the dots together. So the first thing that we want to do in this video is to create a new menu. If you've already have a menu on your site, you can still follow along and create only the menu items that I show here that you need on your site. So to create a menu in WordPress, you start in the WP admin dashboard and you go to the Appearance tab and you click on Menus. My site already does have a menu, but I'll create a new one by clicking this link right here. Give your menu a name. This can be something simple like main menu or primary menu, and then click Create. Great, now you have a menu that we can work with. So let's start with creating our login and logout links. To do this, I'll walk you through the steps and also include what you need to use on your site below this video. So if you just look below the video, you can copy and paste right there into your site, so there's not much you have to type. So getting back to creating the login and logout links, on the left side over here, click on the custom link. And we see two boxes, the URL and then the link text. So in the URL box, copy and paste this from below the video description. We're just going to type in this link right here. This is a special link that Memberium is going to use to either send the user to the logout link, or it's going to send them to the page that you set up as your login page. Now, here in the link text, copy and paste this shortcode I've also included in the description of the video. Really simple. And this shortcode just simply makes the text say login or log out, depending on if the user's logged in or logged out. And once you do that, that's all there is to it. So once we add this to the menu, we're going to see that Memberium takes care of the rest. If a user is already logged into the site, then at the menu, they're going to see a log out item. And if they're logged out of the site, the item will automatically change to a login button. So apart from the login and logout links, you may want to add links to your content in your menu. So what I'm talking about here is maybe you have a course, or maybe you have some protected pages that you want to give users easy access to after they've logged in. One important thing to note here is that if you do add a link to protected content, that's content that you've set membership levels or tags, Memberium is only going to show that content to users that actually have access to the content. So for example, if I protect something with a gold membership, and then somebody who logs in doesn't have the gold membership, they're not going to see that menu item that is protected with the gold membership. The way around this is to keep using custom links. So if you use a custom link rather than just the pages or posts option, then Memberium will show that in the menu regardless. Of course, with WordPress, there's more you can do with your menus, but that's all we'll cover in this video. I've linked some documentation below that explains how you can also control menu items showing and hiding using ActiveCampaign tags. In this video, we're going to set up things on the ActiveCampaign side. At this point, Memberium is protecting the content on your site, but we now need to automate the process of setting up new users, generating passwords, sending emails, and most importantly, giving your members access to their new purchases. At the end of this video, you'll have an automation similar to the one here that applies an access tag. It generates a password for the user. It sends a welcome email with that password. Of course, you can add more to the automation, but it really can be this simple. You can create your own automation with the pieces above, but the easiest and the quickest way to get the automation started is by using our pre-built automation template. Let me show you how to import this template into your ActiveCampaign app. First, you'll go ahead and click the link that I've included below this video, and you'll see a screen just like I'm showing you. You'll copy that link, come into ActiveCampaign, click Create an Automation. On this page, you'll click the Import an Automation button right here at the top, paste the link in, and then press the Import button. And once you actually have the automation open inside of ActiveCampaign, you'll be presented with the automation setup wizard just as you're seeing on my screen. And this is going to walk you through changing the from name and the from email in each of the email templates we've included for you to use. So go ahead and do that. Once you've completed those steps, the first thing that you actually want to do is set your trigger for the automation. And you're going to want to first delete this note right here. So we go ahead and delete that. And then we click the Add a Start Trigger button. Up here in the top, you can search for it, or if you could just see it on your screen, I actually do see it here, tag is added. That's what we want to choose. And so the way this works is that your billing system of choice, which we'll kind of cover this a little bit in the next video, will need to apply a tag when a purchase is made. So when a user comes to your site and makes a purchase, you're going to want your WooCommerce, ThriveCart, Shopify, whatever you're using to apply a tag in ActiveCampaign so that this whole automation can start. That tag that needs to be applied is your membership tag. So if we come over here to Memberium memberships, I can see that my membership tag name is Gold Course. So if I just remember that, come back over here and type in Gold Course, then I can see my Gold Course tag is right here, and then I can just press Add Start. So once that's added, we can see that the automation is going to start when the tag Gold Course is added. So then that's how we can integrate this whole automation with whatever billing system we decide to use in the next video. The next thing is to generate passwords for the users. So this step is done, again, using some Memberium magic. If we come over here to Memberium, Settings, and then we go to the Webhooks and Links tab right here, we can see the password generator example is down here in the bottom. Now, one thing I want to just make note of here is that you can see at the beginning of this URL, it says HTTP. However, if you look up here in the URL, it actually is secure. It has SSL on it. So what we'll do is we'll copy this link, and then we'll make sure to just change HTTP to HTTPS. We're going to add an S there. So coming back in here to ActiveCampaign, we'll just simply paste that link in here, and that'll have your own auth key. It won't say ABC123. You'll have a real auth key that Memberium auto-generated for you. And then again, we'll just make sure to change that to HTTPS. So if you have SSL on your site, just make sure that you have HTTPS in this link too. So once we've saved that, at this point, now when the tag's added, a user's going to automatically get a password generated to them. And now we need to email that password to them and also give them some more details about where they can log in, welcome them to the site. So to do this, we'll simply click on this first email here and we'll hit the edit button. And here's where you actually need to go through and change a lot of this stuff for yourself. So we have included a basic template here for you, a well-written copy. However, you're going to need to come through and change the stuff that's in brackets here. So for example, we're sure that you need to change this to your course name. So if you're selling a course, in this case, I'll just type in gold course. We're sure that the gold course will help you. And then, you can follow through with updating all these placeholder texts here. However, the main thing that you really need to change is one, link to your site's login page. And again, that's set up through Memberium. We've already kind of covered that. The username right here, that's going to be their email by default. As a matter of fact, there's no way to actually change that. So you don't really need to change this one. But the last one here is password. So in Memberium, if you go to Memberium settings and then the login screen here, you'll see the CRM password field. Mine is set to membership password, but you could have a custom one too. For example, if I just had a password right here, if that was my password field, we could set that, save it. We want to come back over here to the password, and to actually update this so that it pre-fills that password, we need to hit personalize, contacts, and then we need to scroll down until we see that password field. And here it is right here, contact password. So in doing that, that's the default password field. If you name your field actually password, then this is what you're going to see on your site. But if you create a custom field, maybe secure password, membership site password, you're just going to hit personalize, go to the contacts tab, and then just click whatever it might be, secure password, membership password, whatever password field you're using. Granted, you're not going to have all the ones that I just showed you, that's just because our ActiveCampaign app has those fields. So you're going to read through the rest of the email, change all the placeholders, and when you're done doing that, add your logo, and then up here just hit the next button because we need to actually change a couple more settings. So the first thing you want to do is update the subject line. You can do that by just hitting edit right here. And again, we've already put in some basic stuff right here, welcome, and then we're going to pre-fill their first name in. Here's your login details too, and then you need to update this bracket to whatever your, product that you just sold them was. On top of that, you're going to want to change the from name. Change that to your name and the email address. Make sure that you put that email address as your email address. If you send it like this, it's probably going to go to spam since that just looks like spam. And so once you've updated those, you'll simply hit close. You'll press the next button. And the last thing that you need to do is right here where it says address. By default, you're probably going to have this generic one. That's because we had to put in an address when we're making the template. Change this to your real address. So once you set that to your address, then you can hit finish. And that's all there is to do in the first email there. Now, we do include several follow-up emails, so we'll just edit one together right now. We'll click on the first follow-up and we'll press edit. And again, a lot of these steps are going to be the same when it comes to updating your logo, filling in the placeholder that we have placed inside of here. However, there's one new thing in the follow-up emails that I'm going to walk you through, and that's this right here. We have a link that says resume where you last left off by clicking here. So if we actually just click in there, we can click this hyperlink icon right up here at the top, and by default, you're probably just going to have something like this in there. That's how our template's going to display inside of your ActiveCampaign app. And this is what we call an auto login link. An auto login link allows users to simply click the link and then be automatically logged into the site. And you can even redirect them to a specific page on your site. Maybe your course page or wherever you want to take them specifically. It could be a specific lesson page, specific post, whatever you decide. But how do we actually set this up? Well, the first thing we need to do is come back over here to this webhooks and links screen. Again, that's Memberium, settings, webhooks/links, and copy the email auto login example. So once you have that copied, we'll come back over here into ActiveCampaign and we'll paste the link inside of here. There's a couple things that we're going to need to update. The first one is just make sure, again, if you're running an SSL secure site, just add the HTTPS. Make sure it's HTTPS there. And then at the very end, if you want to redirect them to a specific page, you just need to simply type the &, and then reader equals, and then start using forward slashes to whatever page it is. So for example, if I wanted to take them to a course homepage, I could come into my site right here, just simply come over to Learn-Courses, and then I can click on my gold course right here. And then if we come right down here, you can see this is the permalink right here. So if I actually view the course in the browser, you can see that it's memberium.wpengine.com/courses/gold. So coming back over here, that's exactly what I'm going to type in. I'm going to type in /courses and then gold. And that's all you have to do. So now we can just press OK. Now before I do that, I will say that if you don't add a redirect here, that's completely fine. It's just going to take the members to whatever homepage you've set up. So if they have membership homepages already set up, that's where it's going to take them. Or if they don't, if you haven't set up membership homepages, that's okay too. It's just going to take them to the homepage of your site. So depending on how you've set everything up, you may or may not want to specify a redirect here, and that's completely up to you. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to us. So once you've set this up, just simply press OK. And again, you'll just finish by filling through all the placeholders. You'll press the next button right here. And you'll need to update again one more time with every one of these emails. Update your subject, update the from information, and update your address so it shows the correct address. And then you can finish each email. Now, you don't have to have all 7 emails here, but this is just our template to help you get started and up and running as quickly as possible. So this is all there is to it. It's, when you're ready, you can rename your automation if you'd like, and then you can press the active button. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to connect this automation to your billing system. So whether you're using WooCommerce, ThriveCart, Spiffy, or any of our other recommended ones, or anything that integrates with ActiveCampaign, again, we'll kind of cover this in the next video. We're going to show you how you can actually make this automation trigger when somebody makes a purchase through that billing system. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to connect Memberium for ActiveCampaign and the new automation we just set up with your e-commerce platform. So we have our automation created, and we need to hook it up to our billing system. Memberium doesn't have a built-in billing system, but we work with any billing system that works with ActiveCampaign. The basic requirement is the system that you use has to create a contact record in ActiveCampaign, and it needs to be able to apply tags to records in ActiveCampaign. If you're selling subscriptions, you'll also want a system that can apply tags if a user cancels their subscription or if their payment gets declined. If you don't already have a billing or an order form system, we recommend Spiffy, ThriveCart, and WooCommerce. We've tested each of these platforms, and we can generally help you get the connection between them and ActiveCampaign working. I've included links to our documentation on each of these systems below the video, and it's step-by-step documentation. Again, you don't have to use one of those systems though. If you already have a system in mind, you're welcome to use that one. However, if you don't already have an idea of what you're going to use, I recommend you take a look at one of those as they offer the most features and we've documented them on our end. Regardless of the system that you choose to use, you'll need to connect that system to your ActiveCampaign new member automation, the one we just set up. Without knowing the exact system you're going to use, it's hard to give a step-by-step in this video, but at a high level, what you need to do is have the billing system, after a purchase is made, create the contact in ActiveCampaign, and then apply the membership tag to the user, and that's going to trigger that automation that we just set up in ActiveCampaign. If you remember in that last video, the trigger for the automation is the membership tag. Now, if you don't want to go that route, you can also have your billing system trigger the automation directly, if it supports that. However, the easiest setup is just to have it apply the membership tag, and then let that tag trigger the automation we set up. Cancellations and payment failures, that's if a card declines or if somebody cancels their subscription, that's all going to be handled through the e-commerce system as well with tags. If you remember back to the memberships video, we talked about the payF and cancellation tag. So if a user's card fails, you'll want to apply the payF tag, which will revoke their access, and then once you've set it up, it can take them to a page when they log into your site, giving them the option to contact your support team or maybe go directly into your billing system to update their card. And for a step-by-step on getting all this set up, like I said, I've linked below our guides on ThriveCart, Spiffy, WooCommerce, and Shopify. In our guides, they'll show you step-by-step how to set up the integration so that you can start taking payments and you can deliver your content automatically. And that's all we're going to cover in this video. In the next and the last video, we're going to finish by creating a test user and ensuring that everything is set up and working as we'd expect. Congratulations, you've made it to the last video. You've set all the basics and even some advanced features up, and now it's time to test everything. The easiest way to start the testing process is to run a test purchase through your billing system. This will ensure that your billing or e-commerce system is communicating with ActiveCampaign as it should. To make this video as relevant as possible and not specific to any e-commerce system, I'm just going to apply the automation trigger tag manually to a contact. But when you test on your end, I'd strongly suggest you start by making a purchase and letting your billing system of choice create the record ActiveCampaign and apply that membership tag that we set up. If you do want to test manually without the billing system, you can follow what I'm doing. But first, as you can see here, I'm just on the ActiveCampaign create a contact screen. Again, you shouldn't have to do this on yours system. Your billing system should do this automatically for you. Alright, so I've gone ahead and created that contact, and now I'm going to press the Add Tags button, and I'm just going to add the Gold Course tag. Here it is. So this is my tag, and this is going to trigger the automation that we set up together in previous videos. So once we hit the apply button here, that's done. And now if I go to the date created, I can actually find my contact. It's right here. And we can see that it's been added to the automation. It's in the new member welcome and onboarding sequence. So I did set my password field to password, and so if we just refresh here, we'll see that a password is going to be generated for that user. Here's my password right here. Okay, so I have my email pulled up right here, and as you can see, this is the welcome email. I didn't change everything, but I just changed a couple of the placeholders. But this is how it's going to look when your users receive this. So obviously, you want to customize your logo and everything, like we've covered in the past videos. But here's the most important part. You can see that my username and password have been merged in. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that password, and we're going to log into the site. So I've pulled this up over here in my other browser, and I'm typing in my email address. And I'm pasting my password in. Now, before we proceed here, I want to show you that I am on this login page, and if you look at the menu, you'll see Home and Login. That's all that we see in the menu. But when I press Login, what's going to happen is I'm going to actually be taken to my Gold course. So here I am. I'm on the Gold course. This is inside of LearnDash. You can see Login changed to Log Out, and we also now have the Gold course homepage. So if I click that, if I went to my homepage and then I go back to this, it's allowing me to return to the course very easily. So you'll want to set that up on your site too, just like we talked about in the video talking about site navigation. So we'll just make sure that we can actually access this content, which we can. So my quiz would be right here, this and that's just all through LearnDash, but you would have your content protected the same way. Now, just to show you that this content is all protected, if we actually open this up in a new tab here and we actually just go to the URL, you're going to see that it's redirected me to members only right here. So we're actually on a page right now telling us, we need to enroll to continue, and this is where I would, take them to my sales page, my order form. But people can always log into the site by hitting the login button, and what you're seeing, all of this right here, is the Memberium page templates. You're welcome to do as much testing as you'd like to ensure everything is working, and when you're confident it's all working as intended and as you want, you should be ready to launch. If you need any assistance, you can join us on our live office hours calls. That's held twice a week, or you can contact support through our website or email anytime you have a question or need help with anything at all. Thanks again for joining Memberium, and we're excited to be part of your membership site.